Hello and welcome to the channel. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Today I'm actually going to cover a pharmaceutical stock that launched in 2020 and it was about $16 when it launched. Now the stock is at $2.64. However, the noteworthy thing about the stock is the institutional bank still holds a large amount of stock, and also the company is really good and the idea is really great behind it, right? They're trying to give coverage to the Medicare folks, like the senior folks, etc. So I think the institutional banks are treating this as like an investment, not a trade. Of course, trade is like where you go ahead and you buy the stock and you sell it and you see what the supply and demand is and you go with the price action. Investment is like you understand the idea, you sort of cover the idea, you want to go with the fundamentals rather than just looking at the trade, right? So let's talk about this company, okay? I'm going to cover the fundamentals and the technicals, the levels I have for it. So if you're new to the channel, please do consider subscribing because I release video every day. The objective is to get you guys information. If you're looking at a stock, at least you have some idea what the background is. You're not just jumping in because somebody said so. At least you have some clue on what's going on with the stock. So let's talk about the company first, okay? As a market cap, it's a $1.25 billion company. It's not a small company, okay? Even though it's started up 2020, it still has a good amount of market cap. On an average, the stock is traded about 8 million. Actually, on a close of Friday, they did about 4.8 million. This is a great number in terms of if you're buying a stock, for example, and you're trying to sell out the stock, you won't have a problem either buying or selling. Your order is going to get filled real quick. As far as the balance sheet is concerned, the total assets they have is about 950,000, which is, again, everything is by 1,000, so it's 950 million, right? Total liabilities are 411 million, and the total stockholders' equity is about 535 million, which is a fairly large company. All right, operating cash. The operation right now, they're not successful. All right, that's what, I think the sort of a red flag for me was that the operation is not successful. It's negative 221 million. Investing cash flows, like if they're purchasing equipment, investing money in different companies, etc., is about 220 million. However, they do have their financing cash flow is 283 million, which is like people buying stocks, they're giving out warrants, things like that. It's 283 million, which means that they still have on hand 324 million, which is a good sign. At least they are not short of cash, okay? Even though if they don't go bankrupt, at least they have enough cash to cover their debts. And if you're a preferred stock member, for example, you'll be able to get your money, no problem. Institutional ownership. This is I think this is where the noteworthy thing is. 32% is owned by institutional. 93 of these institutional banks have increased their position by 51 million. Okay, that's a large number, and a lot of companies invested in this stock. Okay, 67 of them sold out of their position, only 27 million. Their recent 39 of them increased their position by 5.3 million. 32 of them sold out, 4.2 million. The net is still higher than whatever they're selling. They're still buying more than the selling, even though the stock price has not. It is coming down. However, right now from last. Let's look at the day right here, okay? The 996, right? When they were going to the conference, the stock started rising, and it's still rising, okay? There's a resistance right here. You see the line right here. This is acting as a resistance, so I can see the stock coming down right here and then sort of playing around with it. But I see the potential here for the stock, and I see there's two levels I see here, right? I see a $2.72, and I see $2.79, $2 and around 80 cents. I see there's two levels, and I feel like the stock can reach that $2.70 or so. And of course, again, it's all probability, right? You can have stock, come down here, and then there's not a lot of demand at that point. The stock is generally come down, but it comes down. It could come down to $2.33. That's the lowest it could go to. And of course, if worse come to worse, it could potentially go to almost $2. Okay, I mean, look, everything in market is probability. However, I think because the way the momentum is, let's say, for example, RSI is above 70, which means the stock is being overbought right now. Of course, it's going to come down, but I see the stock still picking up a little bit on Monday. MACD is over the signal line. I can see it, also going up, which means also an indication. These are indicators that tell you how the stock is going to go and where it's going to go. And I feel like the stock, just the way it is doing right now, right? It's sort of bouncing off of these two resistance and supports that I have here. And I think it will definitely make it to $2.70. Now, that's 8 cents. And after that, it could make to $2. If it crosses this level right here, it could definitely go to $2.80 because there's nothing in between that will sort of kick in or, there's limit order, things like that. I could potentially see the stock to go at $2.80. Of course, look. This is a cheap stock, right? So even an 8 cents play, if you have a good quantity, you can actually make a lot of money. Or if it goes 20 cents, for example, you have a good quantity, you can make a lot of money, right? Again, not a financial advice. I'm looking at the stock for Monday, and this is my resistance to support. And of course, I see the stock going to 270, 271, and potentially to $2.80. Okay. But again, on an average, the stock moves around, 3 to 4 cents in a 30-minute period, which means on a daily, it's moving around. On a daily, it's moving around 18, 16 cents. So yeah, there's a potential right here for the stock to go to 270, 272 on Monday. But again, that is something to see. But I wanted to bring this video for you guys. I want you guys to have this on your watch list. Definitely look at the stock. Don't sleep on the stock. The stock has a lot of 32% from institutional banks. There's a lot of confidence on the stock. So I would definitely look at it as an investment for now, and definitely keep an eye on the stock. So hope you liked this video. If you did, do give it a thumbs up, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video.